from what I can remember from the day I was born, it was always hard times, welfare, not much food, no money, crime infested neighborhoods, murders, pimps, prostitutes, drugs, and it was survival of the fittest. And I had an older brother who was 5 years older than me, so he didn't spend much time around the house. He was in the programs. He was very smart and intelligent. He was the special kid on the block that was always in school. And me and my sister got caught up in the street life. So I was bullied a lot as a kid. I used to have pigeons, and one particular time some bully grabbed one of my pigeons and ripped his head off, and that was the first time I ever got into a fight. And I kind of like won. I was young, like 9, but I kind of like won. And I like fighting ever since because it gave me attention. People would say, hey, you was that guy that beat that big kid up. You was that guy. And that was like, everybody knew me from that incident. And so after that, older kids would bring other kids from different neighborhoods around my neighborhood, and they would pay us to fight each other. And that's how I started fighting. I probably had, in my life, I probably had 400 fights.
How many?
400.
Wow. Well, in your professional career, you
had
like 50.
No, that's 50.
Yeah,
that's like 50 or 60.
Yeah.
On the street, I had about 400.
Wow. And you were in trouble with the law, I know, early in the stage, right? And when did you get introduced to drugs?
Oh, I've been drugged since I was 9 years old.
Wow. What kind of drugs back then?
Cocaine, marijuana, alcohol, liquor. Because when I was younger, my mother, who wasn't educated on drugs and alcohol, even though she'd been in college, in order to perhaps get me to go to sleep, I was making a lot of noise. She would give me alcohol.
Wow.
Thinking I would go to sleep,
Yeah.
at that time. And so I started getting into a lot of trouble. By the time I was 12, I was arrested probably 40 times.
Yeah.
Everybody in the juvenile and the police department knew my name. Everybody, I was a regular. And so eventually they sent me away, and I was in this place. They sent me there for 2 years. And so I'm there, and eventually I get shipped away to another reformatory upstate New York, and I meet this gentleman named Bobby Stu, who's a former professional fighter. Not a big-time fighter, but just a former professional fighter. 4 10-round fights, never big time. And every weekend he started, he would box with the kids. And then one particular day he boxed me, and he beat the shit out of me, but I took the beating. He hit me in the stomach, I fell down, I got back up, but he kept beating the shit out of me. But I took it, and he thought that was a badge of courage. And so he started boxing me, started teaching me how to box. And then eventually I was, 13 then, I became too good. So he had said, I have to take you somewhere else for someone that could take you to the next level. And so I went and I met Customato. And beating him was...
Did you know who he was to start
with? I had no idea.
Flight patterns?
I had no idea about boxes.
Wow.
I was just doing this stuff. And I boxed with Bobby, and Bobby really had, he like bloodied my nose, and he beat me up pretty bad that particular time because I was really putting it on, trying to impress Cuss. And Cuss said, this is the next champion, providing he doesn't lose interest. So he said how old he was, and I said he's 13. And then Cuss said he's lying. He doesn't want to go to prison with the grown adults, so he said he's 13.
Wow.
And so Bobby Stewart, because everything Cuss says is the Bible, and so he said, tell me the truth. After all these years, I've been there 2 years with him, and I said, tell me the truth. How old are you? I said, I'm 13. I'm 13. He said, tell me the truth. I said, I'm 13. So he got my birth certificate. He found out I was 13. And then cussing those guys just automatically. I didn't even agree to it. They said, this is what you're going to do. You're going to be heavyweight champ. You're going to win the Olympics. You're going to win the gold medal. You're going to do this. And you're going to become heavyweight champ. You're going to be this and that. And I didn't want him to think I was afraid. And one day, I had a couple of amateur fights, and I'm fighting. I'm 15 now. I had a couple of championships, and we're watching. Excuse me, but
okay.
Watching.
That word goes around here easily.
we're watching Ali fight Larry Holmes.
Oh yeah.
And
was it when Holmes beat him?
Yeah.
Beat Ali?
It was really bad.
Yeah.
Excuse me if I cry. It's really bad, real bad. So, guys. Oh man, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Thank you for sharing, brother.
Are you ready? The face and hand of the throne in this man. After he beat up Ali, that was his goal. And he taught me to become the greatest fighter in the world. I'm sorry I can't talk.
Oh, it's beautiful, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your vulnerability, bro.
I just don't know where it came from. I just don't know how I made this old man. He made me this fight.
He made you into this.
I still don't understand it to this day.
Still don't understand.
Who is he? Where's he come from? What's his life was like?
But he loved you.
Yeah.
And at one point he even adopted you, didn't he?
Yeah, when I was 16, when my mother died.
Yeah.
My mother died of cancer.
Yeah. And so he adopted you, and he was your mother, your father, your mentor.
My psychiatrist, my therapist, he was everything,
And he taught you to fight like nobody else, but you even went, I already had you hypnotized at times. Tell me about that. What was he hypnotizing you to do?
He was a hypnotist as well, and he believed that he could reach the subconscious, but only special people can that happen to it. It can't reach anybody. You have to believe in it because it's something that's very complex to believe in. I'm not gonna believe somebody's gonna tell me something and this is gonna appear. So it's hard for people to even really believe this can exist. But I believed everything Cus told me. Everything he told me, I believed it.
Yes.
And so that's what it was like.